Hey PPA, it's Heidi Allen, founder of the Positive People Army. How is everyone today? It is Wednesday, Positive Word Wednesday, and all of you that are in the PPA know how much I love Wednesdays because Wednesdays are all about story time. I love to share stories. I'm such a storyteller. Everything about me always comes down to a story. I feel it's truly an incredible way that we learn things, how we remember things, how we so easily pass things down to our children, to our friends, our family. It's just the perfect way to remember some of the things that we need to get through this crazy life that we're in right now. So today is Positive Word Wednesday. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. Today's word is judgment. Judgment. That's a hard word. It's even a hard word to say. It has such a definitive vowels to it, like judgment. Yes, it's a big word, but it's an important word because there's so many different times or things that we judge throughout our life. But what I want to talk today about, and I'm going to tell a very old story, is I'm talking about how we judge the moments that are existing in our lives. So what we are going through and how we judge it and get so focused on it. So I'm going to get the story started. This particular story takes place with a man that has 4 sons. So he has 4 sons that he wants to teach a lesson to. He's noticed that judgment is existing in their lives, and they're judging some of the things that they're going through, or they're judging other people. It's just something that, it happens to all of us. So the father decides that he's going to teach them a lesson, but it needs to be a profound lesson. Instead of just saying to them, you really shouldn't judge what you're going through, he wants to give them a powerful lesson. So over the course of a year, he sends each one of his sons out to go and see a tree. It's actually a fruit tree, an apple tree. So the first son, the eldest son, is up first. So he sends him off on a trek, and he's got to walk over many fields. He's got to walk miles and miles to see this particular tree the father has decided that they have to go and see. So the first son takes the trek, and he goes and sees the tree during winter. So it's cold and it's wet and the wind is blowing, and he arrives to see the tree. He takes in what he sees because his father asked him to hold on to exactly what it is that he sees when he looks at the tree. So the second son he sends out in the spring. So now the weather is getting a little warmer, things are starting to grow, and the second son heads out on the trek through the fields, miles and miles, to see this tree. I have to tell you, all of the boys are just very perplexed by what is happening here and why they have to see a tree. So the son comes upon the great tree that his father had sent him to see, and he looks at it and he takes some notes as to exactly what he sees. Now the third son, he's the lucky one. He gets to head out summertime. Now the weather is so warm. The third son doesn't mind taking the journey to see the great fruit tree that their father wants them to see. He actually enjoys himself and takes his time. And then when he gets to the tree, he gazes upon it and he takes in exactly what it is that he sees. The fourth son takes the journey in fall. And so now, you know what? It's getting a little cooler, but I don't know about you, but I love fall. And the fourth son thoroughly enjoys the weather of fall. And the leaves are starting to turn. And so he takes the journey to see the great tree. And he knows he's the last son to take this journey. Once he gets back, they all know that the father is going to gather them to find out exactly what it is that they saw when they saw the tree. So when the son returns after seeing the fall fruit tree, they all sit down around this big round table. And the father says to the first son, my firstborn, you took the journey I asked you to take. What did you see when you saw the tree? What did it feel like? What did it look like to you? And the first son says, well, father, I have to tell you, I thought that was the ugliest tree I have ever seen. It was barren and the branches were all crooked and twisted, and it actually looked ominous, scary. I was uncomfortable when I saw the tree. And so then the second son pipes up and he says, wait a minute, I have no idea what you're talking about. I saw the tree in the springtime, and my God, the tree was starting to bud. It had little green buds on it, and it just looked so pretty, and it just looked like life was beginning. I felt joy when I looked at the tree because I knew what it was going to be. It actually made me feel great. And the third son said, Joy, I gotta tell you that I didn't see little green buds. That is not what I saw when I saw the tree. What I saw was beauty. I saw beauty that took my breath away. The tree was budding with apple blossoms, and they were pink and glorious. And I thought it was one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. And the fourth son said, what? I didn't see any of that. What I saw was a tree that was just so overfilled with fruit that was so ripe, so much fruit, and the smell was intoxicating, but it was full of life. I just saw life fulfilled in the tree. And the father said, oh, my sons, you have done so well. You have taken in what this journey of the tree is. It went from something that was ugly and scary and ominous to something that was starting to grow. It was starting to bud. And then moving into a season of blossoms where it's like something is about to happen. It is coming. It is when everything starts to blossom and grow. And then my fourth son, thank you so much for your description of what happens when it goes through so many seasons to just be full of life and be fulfilled. PPA, why I'm telling you this story is because all of these seasons are everything we go through, everything you go through in life. And so maybe right now you are in a season of winter. We're in a season of winter right now here in Toronto. Maybe you are going through a season of winter. You have had setbacks. You have had mistakes. You have had trauma. You have had heartbreak. That's winter. That is winter. And you feel a little mangled. And maybe you feel a little scary. That's okay. It's a season. Don't judge that season for what it is. Realize that within moments, within weeks, it's going to shift. As you lean into that winter, whatever has to happen in there that you've got to go through, eventually your season will begin when you start to bud. And again, don't judge that moment. Don't judge that moment because it's hard. You don't think that fruit tree, when it's budding, that's not hard to do. It went from this mangled, nothing, barren tree to producing buds, producing growth. Don't judge that season. And then as we head into the blossoms, oh, you're only just beginning. You're only just blossoming. Don't give up. Don't judge that it's taking too long during this season. In the summer, you may start to feel a little warmer. You may start to feel that this is it. Oh, but it's not. Because you have another season that is right around the corner. And that is the season where you are fulfilled in whatever it is that you are trying to do in your life. So PPA, and I know there's some of you that talk to me about hope. How do I hold on to that hope, that faith? And I'm telling you right now, because it exists. We are human beings. We are life just like that tree. And we have to go through all of these seasons, every single one of them, to finally get to the place where we feel fulfilled. So don't judge. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad because you're in winter or spring or summer or even fall. Because I have to tell you, when fall happens and all of that fruit comes, eventually the season may change again and a setback may happen and a heartbreak may happen again. And you'll be right back at winter. And that's okay because the seasons change. You know, I get so emotional. There's some of you on here that this is like really affected today. I can feel your emotions coming through, guys. That's amazing. So hold on to the hope and faith because you're just in a season. Don't judge it. Ride it through and realize right around the corner is another season. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Positive Word Wednesday. You know how much I love Positive Word Wednesday. I love story time here in the PPA. Please share this video. Let's spread the news for everyone. Have a fantastic day, and thank you all for joining me.